Hey everyone, welcome back to Alpha Insights. I'm Kristen, and we've got a neat biotech story to chew on. And hey, if you have questions while you're listening, drop them at stockalpha.ai.
And I'm Marcus. We're talking about a drug that investors once pegged as a heart story, but now researchers are finding signals across a bunch of other diseases.
Right, Apabetalone. Most listeners will remember it from that subgroup in Beton Mace, where researchers saw about 41% fewer heart failure hospitalizations in a defined group, which really put it on the map. But the new papers out in early 2026 are broadening the conversation.
Yeah, there's a batch of preclinical and translational studies pointing at non-small cell lung cancer, heart failure with preserved ejection fraction, chronic kidney disease, and even facioscapulohumeral muscular dystrophy. The work isn't one big clinical readout. It's lots of mechanistic and biomarker signals painting a bigger biology.
So, the real question here is, how does one drug show up in all these different places? Is it magic or just biology?
It's epigenetics. Apabetalone targets BET proteins. They're like readers that bind to acetylated histones and help turn genes on or off. By nudging those readers, the drug seems to dial down pro-inflammatory and pro-fibrotic gene programs across multiple cell types: endothelial cells, immune cells, muscle cells. That pleiotropy explains why researchers see effects from heart to lung to kidney to muscle. But pleiotropy is a double-edged sword. It could widen utility, and it could raise safety and specificity questions.
On the oncology side, a few preclinical studies showed apabetalone altered the tumor microenvironment in non-small cell lung cancer models and reduced tumor cell proliferation. That's why people are talking about it as a combo partner with checkpoint inhibitors or targeted drugs.
Exactly. And for heart failure with preserved ejection fraction, HFpEF, the translational data links the drug's epigenetic effects to fibrosis and endothelial dysfunction pathways. That builds a mechanistic bridge from the Beton Mace heart failure signal to preserved ejection fraction disease, which is huge because HFpEF has been tough to treat.
Right.
For chronic kidney disease, biomarker studies showed favorable shifts in inflammatory and renal injury markers. And in the muscular dystrophy work, early-stage data suggested changes in genes tied to muscle regeneration and inflammation. All promising, but mostly early-stage evidence.
I mean, when you look at the data, it's tempting to get excited because a drug that hits inflammation and fibrosis could address multiple big markets. But you got to remember, most of this is preclinical or translational.
From a business angle, that kind of cross-disease biology makes the asset more attractive to partners. Heart failure, lung cancer, kidney disease are large markets, and rare disease pathways like FSHD come with premium pricing and orphan incentives. Analysts note that a broader indication set can change deal economics, different royalty and milestone structures, but partners will demand randomized clinical proof, long-duration safety data, and clear regulatory pathways.
Yeah, that's a good point.
There's also noise around the company's delayed financial filings. Delays can mean a lot of things: extended audits, due diligence during partnership talks, or resource shifts. But they also add risk. Investors should press management for clarity on the cause and timeline, and watch for anything that ties the delays to cash runway or material changes.
And let's be blunt about the risks. Translational promise often fails in the clinic. BET proteins are everywhere, so off-target effects are a real concern. And competition in epigenetics and each therapeutic area is heating up. All of that raises the bar for proof.
Totally. So, catalysts to watch this year: more peer-reviewed papers or conference abstracts that replicate these findings, any INDs or Phase 2 starts for HFpEF or combo trials in lung cancer, corporate updates explaining those financial filings, and any partnering or licensing deals that would validate the strategy and provide non-dilutive capital.
Honestly, I was a bit surprised by the scope here, but surprised in a cautiously optimistic way.
Bottom line, the research in early 2026 reframes Apabetalone from a single heart-focused candidate to a potential platform with cross-disease effects. That's meaningful for valuation and partnering, but markets will reward reproducible clinical proof, not promise alone.
Quick reminder, this discussion is informational only. We're not giving personalized investment advice. Analysts note these findings, but buyers should look for randomized clinical data and clear safety readouts before drawing conclusions.
All right, key takeaways. 1. The molecule shows multi-tissue biology that could open multiple indication paths. 2. Most evidence is early, so clinical confirmation is essential. 3. Watch for publications, trial starts, partner deals, and clarity on corporate filings.
Got questions? We'd love to hear from you. Head over to stockalpha.ai where you can ask us anything and we'll answer live. And while you're there, check out more market content.
That's it from us. Thanks for listening to Alpha Insights. See you next time.